last time we got to talk to you about everybody else, inside, now you've been out here practicing with the team. What's your impression of the guys you're with?
Excited. You know, the guys have been eager. The guys have been excited to get out here. They've been flying around the first 2 days. It's a new scheme, so there's definitely some stuff that we've had to correct, but it's been good stuff. You know, it's good to get the kinks out early.
What's the installation been like these first 2 days?
Slow. It's been slow. So everything we've installed so far, we've already installed before spring. So it's nice. It's kind of their second time going over it. We'll get into new stuff starting next week.
What responsibilities are you putting on yourself to get the guys ready for the season?
I mean, it's all on me and the rest of the staff. You know, we have to get these guys going, and it starts in the spring. Like, this is the time to build our foundation and set the tone and go into the camp.
Dan, in the periods just that we've seen at the beginning of practice, it looks like you've been a majority working with, safety, secondary, what have you so far. How is that distribution been of you dipping your toe in various areas on the defense, and how is that going to progress?
It's been good. You'll see me just about with every position by the end of the year. I'll spend most of my time with the DBs, but it's not just with the safety. Sometimes I'll take the corner. Sometimes it'll be with the guys in the slot. I try to get my hands on everybody, but there's times where we'll be with the guys up front. We'll be working on their drops. Times I'll be with the inside backers, but I'll be with the DBs for a majority of it.
When it's so early and there's no full pads on, what do you look for as a coach from your guys in practices like this?
Communication, effort, and then you can still attack the football, and that's something that we're just putting a big emphasis on, especially, like you said, without pads, because there's only so much you can evaluate at this point.
How are they doing on those 30 things?
They're doing good. Today was better than the first practice, so we're just going to keep on getting better and better each day.
A versatile player like Jalen Smith, what do you want him to, what's your goal for him for the spring? Do you want him to learn one position? Do you want him to learn both positions? What's his goal for spring for him?
He's a unique guy because he really is a defensive back. He's a guy that can play safety, he can cut the pass, he can play nickel, he can play in corner. So right now we're kind of moving him around at a couple spots, trying to find exactly what's going to be his home, but he's definitely going to be a guy that
Coach, Riley mentioned about a few standout freshmen in the first 2 days of practice. He specifically mentioned as well Marquise. What specifically have you seen in him over the first 2 days of practice?
Just poise, for these, not just him, just all the high school kids out here. I forget that they're supposed to be in high school right now. And to be out here with these older kids and to get this playbook and thrown at them at this point, I've just been really impressed with just their poise, especially him and how he's handled everything so far.
Dan, what's your view on Isaiah Ranks and how he might help, his transfer might help kind of unlock that tandem, at the front?
Yeah, he's going to be a crucial part inside, and we're excited to really see what those guys inside do when the pads come on. Right now, it's more about just alignment, assignment, and technique. When the pads come on, we'll have a really good idea.
What do you see from this defensive staff as a whole now that you're on the field together coaching?
They're very passionate. They're great coaches. I get a chance to go into all their rooms, hear them install, hear them coach. You see them in coaching Indy. It's a very, very good and passionate staff.
Were there any common traits you looked for when you were targeting transfers in secondary?
Obviously, in playing experience, speed. We like guys that can stay on top on the outside. Size, we wanted to get some more length on the outside, and then we just want to keep on improving our versatility. Guys, there's obviously going to be some guys who play in corner only, but the more guys we can have that can do both, the better.
What's your view on kind of the linebacker part? Mason was a guy who played a lot of Mike last year. Easton obviously did too, but they're might line up together.
Yeah.
How do you view that kind of shaking up?
Right now, we're playing all those guys, and in my mind, they're all inside backers. And we want them to learn both, because, like you said, there might be times where Easton's out there with Mason. There might be times where Eric's out there with them. We don't know exactly how it's going to shake out, but we want those guys to be able to play them both.
As somebody who's coaching with Eric Gentry the first time, what's it like to have a linebacker who's kind of built so uniquely like that?
Never coached a guy like him before, but I'm excited. He's a guy that when the pads can come on, we're excited to see what he does, and that's on us to try to find ways to get him to make plays on the field.
When you were looking at film when first came in, took this job, to see guys 10, 15 pounds, heavier now, especially up front, is that a big difference to you? Just seeing that, you feel like that's going to make a real impact?
It is. I do. That's a credit to the strength staff, the nutritionists. They've done a great job. I think you just look at the guys physically from when I got here to now, especially the guys up front, they just look different. You don't know exactly until the pads are on, so that's why we're eager to see that. But as far as just how they look and just their size and their strength, we're super excited.
When Coach Riley was going through the hiring processes, one of the things that attracted you to him was your ability to adjust on a week-to-week basis. What attracted you to this program and wanting to work with Coach Riley?
As far as the program, just the history and the tradition of a school like this, you look at all the great coaches and players that have come through here. So to get a chance to be a part of a program like this is a hard thing to turn down. And then especially with a head coach like Coach Riley, from a defensive standpoint, you always want to be with the guy that's going to score points, and we know he's going to do that.
He's an offensive guy by nature. Does he have defensive chops inside of him? Have you noticed that?
Oh, he does. Yeah, he does. He does.
He said he's been inside all the defensive install meetings this spring. Like, what's it like having a head coach kind of sit in on?
That's been the norm everywhere I've been. So as far as just him wanting to know exactly, what the new defensive scheme is, how it's going to be taught. So when he sees stuff out here on the field, he has an idea of what's going on as well.
All right, thank you, Coach Lynn.